Happy Sunday night, kiddies. It's been a long time of research here. I got this video idea I've been thinking of, I don't know, for a month and a half. Okay. So then 3 weeks ago, I'm kind of gearing up for it. And I had this extra, it was a bad get off on my dirt bike. And I've never hit the ground that hard in my life. Okay. I was going to try to find some videos of my tractor on another computer, but basically I was on the 252 stroke. I grabbed a little too much throttle around a corner after I've been riding all day, and I was kind of following another guy around. And I just uh, couldn't make a turn and hit the bushes and went over the bars and off a cliff kind of thing and hit the gravel. Anyway, I couldn't breathe. The short story is I was in the hospital for 3 days. They poked a hole in my lungs so I can get breathing again. I'm a squish bug. I used to be big and strong. My body is just broken. I got this separated shoulder. I can't make the sign of the cross with this hand, and I still got a bump on my head. I've got like Ted Nugent veins on one side. I'm only half a Motor City madman because I'm from Ann Arbor. At any rate, let's get to the point. I wanted to get this video done. So finally, I'm able to stop taking naps all day and because my head was all whacked off and everything. I shouldn't say it. I was dizzy a lot. It's getting better though. And this is about pregnancy, and this is about marital relations during pregnancy and why I say they're gay, because I used to not think so. I used to think it was just natural and, it's whatever. But no, because you're not trying to avoid pregnancy. Actually, because pregnancy can't be achieved during pregnancy, especially when that baby's kicking and all that, it's a no. So I kind of wrote a blog post, and I wanted to go through it. It's all based on an article I was reading. It was very long, and I kind of boiled it down to make it a little more just, I don't know, more easily digested. Some of you may have known that movie from Hugh Grant called 9 Months. It's 1995. It was so dumb. My wife and I watched it way back, and it just I remember they talk about kind of endorsing relations during pregnancy, and it was like super Hollywood. And then as you know, I'm like, there's going to be no NFP over on my end. So I was getting questions by Seth over at Deutero Comical. He was kind of saying, what about during pregnancy? And then I was reading this article one day at my son's rugby game. I'm like, whoa, this is it. It's wrong. Even though I've said it's right before, I figured it out. It's wrong. And I'm going to back it up. Why? So let's just kind of figure this out so I don't ramble too long, because that's easy to do. Here, let's see if I can get L blog post up. Here it is right here. I just put it up today, and I'm going to link this in the whole thing. So we'll read through this quickly, and I'll try to just make it easier or whatever, because it's, as you know, there's a lot of stuff out there that's correct and true, but unless you can kind of bring it to the open, talk about it, it kind of remains buried. So this is one of those articles. I don't even know who wrote it. He's super anonymous. I can't get him a question. Okay, so why do we say that relations during pregnancy is gay? And that's because there's no way it denies the primary purpose of marriage, which is procreation. That's basically it. And that's the only essential purpose, is procreation. Anyhow, I'll let you guys. I'm going to put the link to this, and you can read it. But the nature is there. Okay, here. Well, let me just go here. There's some reasons that different saints and stuff have explained why during relations isn't right, and I'm just going to jump into it. The main analogy they use: it is unnatural and unreasonable to sow one's seeds when one awaits the harvest. And that's this guy, Athenagoras, or whoever the heck. After the throwing the seed into the ground, the farmer awaits the harvest. He does not sow more seed on top of it. Likewise, to us, the procreation of children is the limit of our indulgence in the appetite. And I'm just going to back this up with more and more and more. So by the time we're done, it should be plain as day. Okay. Saint Clement of Alexandria, everyone seems to like to hate on that guy. To a spiritual man, after conception, his wife is as a sister and is treated as if of the same father. So, and the reason why he says that, like I say, everyone knows back before the Beatles, everyone knew that procreation was the primary purpose, the essential purpose, the natural purpose of marriage. Okay. St. Augustine Likewise, the church's tradition that performing the marital act during pregnancy is unreasonable and unnatural. Just like Harrison Bucker, there's nothing natural about Catholic birth control. It's unnatural since necessary sexual intercourse for begetting of children is free from blame. That's what St. Thomas Aquinas says too, okay? In it itself alone is worthy of marriage. But after Vatican II, they started saying, no. The marriage act itself is the cool thing. It doesn't, that's because that's the new primary purpose is love, not procreation. At least that's the spirit of Vatican II. But that which goes beyond the necessity of begetting children no longer follows reason but lust. So all this stuff about it's all about love. There's only two reasons. It's procreation or lust, pleasure. Those are the reasons. You can call it love if you want, but that's it. He also taught that marital relations during pregnancy are the sins of married persons themselves, not the fault of marriage. Fine. The desire for, I'm just kind of skim through this and see if I get something that really gets me like good talking. Thus, the conception of children is the one and only worthy fruit of intercourse. That's right. St. Ambrose, he's the man. He's done some cool stuff. For even the young who temper their hearts to okay, this is kind of cool. To prudence by divine fear, generally renounce the works of youth when progeny, offspring have been received. And this is remarkable for man, if beasts mutely speak a zeal for generating, not a desire for copulating. Indeed, once they know the womb is filled, the seed received by the generative soil, they no longer indulge in intercourse for wantonness of love, but they take up parental care. Yet men spare neither the embryo nor God. They contaminate the former and exasperate the latter. Even the elements in the beasts, it is a shame to nature to not cease from generating. In other words, when you sowing seeds, this article was very long, and I tried to truncate it because it was just super freaking long. When you are out sowing seeds on the farm and you continue to sow them and then rip up the soil and sow them some more, you're just not going to get a good fruit. And that's what they're saying. And same with the beasts. Once they're pregnant, they're kind of done, you know? And so we need to be better than that because marriage is nature. Even these acts themselves are performed to the glory of God if they are attended to with a view to posterity. That's what Origen says. That's right. So if you're not thinking posterity and you can't do that during pregnancy, that's not to the glory of God. Only for the love of posterity is in Tobias, which has totally been whitewashed, messed up, goofed up, unless you're reading the Douay Rheims, okay? That's the only place you can find this. And this proves that there is no inseparable purpose of marriage, the unitive and the procreative. And I have so many videos to get to. That's another one I'm going to get to about Timothy Gordon. Anyway, only for the love of posterity. This is why during pregnancy is sinful, because you are reversing the order. Saint Caesarius of Arles, he's cool. I would like to know, dearly beloved, what kind of harvest a man could gather if he sowed his field in 1 year as he is overcome by dissipation. Wait, I don't want to just ramble on and read this. Let me see if I can figure it out. If those who are unwilling to control themselves plowed, this is what I was talking about, plowed and sowed repeatedly their land, which was already sown, let us see what kind of fruit they would rejoice. As you well know, no land can produce proper fruit if sown frequently in 1 year. Why then does a man do with his body what he don't do with his field? So plant the seed, let it grow, don't mess around. And that's what during pregnancy is. P.S., you know, NFP people keep talking about how it's just really good self-discipline and that kind of thing, and it builds all that discipline. Well, this is a great discipline for you right here. Make babies and back off. Married people then must mutually abstain after the wife has... Who said this? Oh, this guy, St. Finian of Clonard. He was like the father of the monastery in Ireland, 400s or something. Married people then must mutually abstain after the wife has conceived. He shall not have intercourse with her until she has borne her child, as they shall come together again for this purpose. That's the friggin' purpose. It's not love wins. unless you're queer. But if they shall fulfill this instruction, they are worthy of the body of Christ, and there shall be received 30-fold fruit. Okay. So basically, you're getting good. This is going to get cool. You got some. Let me get some more stuff in here. It is lawful for you to take sensual pleasures for your wife only for the beget legitimate children of offspring. For only these pleasures are lawful according to the word. Saint Clement of Alexandria again. Continence after conception preserves the fruit of the womb from many sinful impulses. Now, that's a little bomb drop by Anne Catherine Emmerich. I think she rocks, and Tan Books publishes her. There, you got a couple detractors out there, but, and you know, the Passion of the Christ movie was based on the writings of Anne Catherine Emmerich. Anyhow, this is what our Lord Jesus Christ told her: continence after conception. Or this is what she's saying. And Jesus told her some stuff after this. So, preserves the fruit of the womb from many sinful impulses. The sins of the parents are visited on the kids. This article goes on and on about bad stuff that happens to kids. Can be physical, can be spiritual, quote, during pregnancy. All right? Because you are pursuing self over God. This is why the devil hath power over the horses and the mules, because they just don't know what they're doing. It's all lust. Cool. Men shall be lovers of pleasure more than God. That's like what I was saying. Okay. The act of fornication. Oh, here. And this goes back to the fundamentals that everyone is goofed up on today, even Father Ripperger, because he's an NFP guy. The act of fornication is always evil. Check, Roger that. Therefore, the marriage act will also always be evil because it's the same act, unless it be excused by the aforesaid goods. And he had gone in the Summa and talked all about those goods, which are you either are trying to get pregnant or you're paying the debt from someone who's trying to get pregnant, your spouse. Okay. So it's evil unless you do that. Okay. So you are not begetting children while you're pregnant. And if you're, we're going to get to some more interesting things in a minute, but let's keep it there. This whole like the marriage act is good in and of itself. No, it's only good if you're trying to have kids. If you're you have to be more open to life is a crazy term. We're not going to talk about that right now. I've already done that in other videos. Open to life is a term which means essentially the intrinsic nature, but it doesn't have anything to do with, you can use contraception to be open to life for that matter, because it's the same percentage. Our Lord rigorously commanded perfect continence. This is what St. Catherine Emmerich was saying, or blessed. Rigorously commanded perfect continence after the period of conception. There it is. Do I have reason to think this is a complete lie? And this is from the devil saying this? No. Anne Catherine Emmerich had the stigmata, like I said, published by Tan Books. It's not like this isn't a guaranteed statement or anything, but I don't have a reason to think anything Anne Catherine says is crazy. No. And it totally goes with what a bunch of saints have said. The husband, let me see. The husband has no right to ask for the debt during this period. This is a quote from the article. And the reason he has no right to ask for the marital debt during pregnancy is because the marriage contract rights are only for acts suitable for the generation of children. If there's already a baby there, you ain't going to be generating any children, so it's off limits, my bro. Casti Canubi 59. You all know that's my favorite paragraph. Okay, so we got to talk about this. And a lot of people read this and go, what is this all about? Holy Church knows well that not infrequently one of the parties is sinned against rather than sinning. Okay? For when a grave cause, he or she reluctantly allows the perversion of the right order. Okay. So this is why they're saying if, for example, like during pregnancy, if somebody requests the marital debt during pregnancy, that's a sin. However, for grave cause, you can let them know it's a sin, because it starts, you're allowed to for grave cause, okay? Because they're going to beat you up or who knows what. So so the perversion of the right order is NFP or during pregnancy. That's the perversion of the right order, because the right order is for procreation. In such a case, there is no sin, provided, mindful of the law of charity, he or she does not neglect to dissuade and deter the partner from sin. So we got to always tell our spouse we have to do in the right order, which means procreation, independent, and first. Primary means first. And if something is first, it must be independent, because whatever is independent is first. You can't have first place depend on something like super first place. No. Secondary is dependent on first. These are just basic stuff, but we're all freaked out now because Humanae Vitae says inseparable and all this kind of stuff. Nor are those considered as acting against nature who, in their married state, use their right and proper manner. Use their married state in the right and proper manner, although on account of natural reasons, either of time or certain defects. So natural reasons, which are still natural, the Marriage Act is still in accord with nature, would be during pregnancy is not acting against nature. Excuse me, during pregnancy is acting against nature because it is neither a defect and I'm goofing this up because I'm trying to read my own words. Basically, let me just get it. I'll just read it so I get it straight, okay? Nor are those acting against nature, blah, blah, blah. New Life during pregnancy is acting against nature because it is neither, it's not a defect, nor is it time, because that's menopause, okay? The right order is procreation purposed first, and the secondary ends dependent thereon. That's right. So you're not acting against nature if there's like natural infertility because you can't have kids or something, a defect, right? Or menopause because you're always open to, there's many examples in the Bible of people getting pregnant really old. Cool. So, holy cow, is that the end? I think it is. Okay. Here, let me go back to this. I'm so used to just going on for a lot longer. Here. Anyway, as I say, the difference between me and everyone else on YouTube is I like to get ratio. I don't like to, but I will get ratioed, meaning you can ask 500 questions and I'll give you 500 answers or 501. And I don't run away from any questions. So go ahead and ask those. Because the reason I've like resorted to videos is I kept asking questions on YouTube and I would get like crickets or that people wouldn't want to talk. Anyway, maybe I can bust out another video tonight. Thanks for watching. And you can like and subscribe and all that. It just sounds so goofy, but let's get it done. And yeah, don't forget to ask questions. Sweetness.